and move fine. Well, here we go. Let's see what people are swearing at me now. How many suits will come this way? Let's see it. Oh gosh. If I could read it, that would be much easier. God almighty. How are you doing, Ashnap? Ashnap 12, how you keeping? You keeping well? Today we're training here a little bit of concentration, a little bit of just contain the body. It's not stretching, no power, no punching, no hitting. It's just a bit of coordination, a little bit of how can you keep mind and body sharp. It's not all the time, guys, when you're going to train, it's all about hitting, beating, and punching, or all that kind of thing. Sometimes you need to slow down as well. Sometimes you just need to put it in a slow motion and just going accordingly with what your muscles are okay to do. So today, just doing a little bit of training to strengthen the muscles, stretching a little bit, and how much you can keep the muscles strong. Okay. Don't be lazy. Let's get it done. Surely, I prefer to be drinking a beer than doing it. This is capoeira, Gabriel, but this is the thing where people makes a lot of mistakes all the time, is when they think you only practice and you only train capoeira when you are doing kicks or when you are spinning and lifting the leg. It's how about you need to prepare the body as well. It's all about how your body will take the movement which might come in the future. The easiest part is to do the kick. The easiest part is to do the movement. The hardest part is to prepare and making sure you will not have a fracture on your joints or you're not going to pull a muscle while you are doing a movement. Fast kick is easy. Problem is concentrating and preparing how that kick will go and come back. Concentration, power, how much can you control your body. This is what matters. And this is what people, they don't train much in these days. What, Sassy? What the fuck, Sassy? This is what the fuck for you, motherfucker. There you go. Whenever you can move fast, is one thing. The problem is, can you move slower? Can you move slow? Matrix, how you doing? How you doing, Sassy? How you keeping? What are you so gross? Why are you so gross? Because I'm just after work, buddy. That's Margot Huber. Because I just finished work. I'm a Coleman, so that's why I don't look very much presentable at this very time over here. I just finished work, so I didn't have time to go home. So before I even go home, I like to do a bit of stretching, and relaxing. It's not all about moving fast all the time, you know. What have I encountered? Hello, MMA boy. How's your weight? My weight, well, I dropped. Oh, my height, I'm 172. Who is that? Giacomo, MMA. What have I encountered? Giacomo, I have no idea how old you are. I have no idea what you have encountered, motherfucker. But one thing I can tell you. MMA. Probably, I trained MMA back on the days. And when I say back on the days, I'm talking about over 20 years ago, you know. And then I aged, buddy. I got older. You can fight a boss prepared for the war. I'm a soldier of the peace, young fella. I'm a soldier of the peace, prepared for the war. But fighting is one of the last things what I want to do now. Of course, I got older. If I was a little bit younger, maybe I would abaixar as calças. Ah, quer ver a tinguela, né, Felipe? Não, senhor. Do know how to wrestle. If I have to, Marhuber, God Almighty, that's hard name. If I have to, probably I will. Now, I don't really like people getting too close to me. Once you start getting older, you start analyzing how you're gonna behave in a fight. You know, when I was fighting, I come from the background of street fight. So I trained street fighting in capoeira for so long because all my fights and troubles and issues, they were on the street. They were on the time when you go outside and then you grab a piece of wood and then you jump in the middle of 5, 6, 7 people, regardless how many people are there out there for the fight. You just break to it and you go for it. So, and then when you go for a fight, one-to-one in a competition, is a different ways of seeing it because you have rules. On the street, there is no rules. The only rule of the street is keep alive, survive, motherfucker, don't die. Street fighting back on the days. Bear in mind, I'm over 40 years old. I'm not a young child anymore. So on the street, you have to use everything what you've got. So, yes, I've been trained for the past 34 years. I've been training martial arts in all different aspects what you can do. Why are you talking about fighting? Because this channel is about capoeira, this channel is about martial arts, this channel is about self-defense, this channel is about fighting. That's why we're talking about fighting, Tibio. This channel is about experience what I had back on the days and when I sent training to some people when they ask for the question. But we talk about everything here, everything what people want to talk about. When I say about fighting, it's not about, I want to go for a fight, I want to tell people how to fight. No, it's nothing to do with that. Don't worry about it. But I have a lot of students in different countries who were training with me for some time, and then they left because they finished the university or they just went to live in another country. I have 5 schools of martial arts in England, York, Leeds, Warrington, Manchester, and some other places, some other people. I tutor them into martial arts. When I used to train people to go to fight in the ring, in the cage, but that's back on the days. I don't do that anymore. What I do now, time to time, I train bouncers, you know, self-defense and defense against weapons, but specifically for people who works indoors or for people who are providing security. In a normal day, that's what I do. I'm just a coal man. I'm nothing but just a person who delivers coal. Oh God Almighty, that's a lot of messes in there. Let's see if I can catch up with at least some of them. You can fight a boss with what have I encountered? Giacomo has left. About his calendar. Do you know Wesley? A little bit. Prepare capoeira. Mostra uma. Uma boa ginga, Gabriel, já lhe mostro. Street fighting. Yes, I was growing on street fighting, bro. Say oi for who the name is Brooklyn. Oi, Brooklyn, how you doing? Hey, buddy, hey, Sassy. Do you know Charles doing this weekend? No chance, buddy. What are you talking about? Fight tibio? Yeah. What have you trained? Sela. Sela, well, for the past 34 years, I've been training capoeira. At the moment, for a few years, I train esgrima. Some people call Kali or arns. Um, I trained judo back on the days. I trained Muay Thai back on the days. Did a little bit of karate back on the days. Um, yeah, but lightweight. It was your grappling background. Well, I was training judo when I was a teenager, when I was a lot younger than what I am now. But now I'm not able to do that anymore. All fucked up. Shoulders are not great, knees are not great, and for judo is not the great thing. I still practice, I still train, but it's more for self-defense, not for competition anymore. Leo, what's up? What's up, Leo? How you doing? Who wins the in charge? I have no idea, bro. Whoever is prepared on that particular day. Nice to see how big of following you again. Oh, thanks, Leo. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here all of this time as well. Thank all of you guys for passing here. Okay, really appreciate all of you who comes and leave a like or share or even criticize or ask questions. It's all part of the game. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. So yeah, this channel here is not to talk about fight or not talk about getting in trouble, but it's about how can you avoid trouble, how can you avoid fights, how can you avoid situations. Okay, so a lot of time when I'm here and I'm doing some stretching, people think I'm trying to show off, I'm trying to teach something on internet. Has nothing to do with that. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. It's just because I have quite students in different places, in different countries. So it's easier for me to start doing some videos in here so they can come and then watch what I'm doing, what I'm doing for work, or when I do the lives in the classes on Wednesday. Wednesday evening is when I have class, and then I make a live during the beginners class. Yesterday I just went to see a student of mine in New York who teaches in New York. So maybe today I'll go to Manchester. It depends if my wife is going to work or not. If she stays at home with the little one, I may go to Manchester to see one of my schools in there. But I never tell people when I'm going. I just show up, I just appear over there and then see what's happening around them. But a lot of the time, most of the weekends I go to give workshops. In different cities, in different countries. I have some trips going in different countries this year. I'm going to Brazil on holiday next week. On the weekend, on Saturday, I'll be in London, and then on Sunday, back to York, and then next week, I'm going to be in Wales. So I'm just going around, okay, just moving about. Okay, let me just get back to this one here, guys. I'm just need to put the on the side there. You know, when you start getting old, and things are a little bit different, because people will ask me now, so this what you do is a dance? And I'm gonna say straight away, yes, that's a dance. I am a dancer. That's what I do. I'm doing fine, thanks. Hope you are doing as well. I'm doing good, man. Yeah, thanks for asking. Just going older, as you know. Just going absolute old. So now I don't have that power of the kids anymore. So it's really just to maintain, regardless what we train these days is more control. So why I say I move slower now? Because I can't afford having fractures and injuries. It takes too long before it recovers. For me, my metabolism is not as fast as it used to be. So I really need to train slowly and making sure the body is ready and prepared. Because there's nothing prettier than knowing how to control emotions, how to control your body, how to move fast if you need, how to block an attack, But you really need to understand how the movement works, where the body can be, where you can attack, where the movements can turn. You're always gonna be moving around, It's not all about hitting people all the time. That's the easiest part. You want to hit someone, you just go and boom, kick someone in the balls, and as they drop, just hit them. Nice, just a little stretch of the arm. You just need to know where you're gonna stretch your arm to. Me, oh boy, my 18 is quite a big one. When was the last time you had engaged on the street fight? That was back 2007. That was the last time I was fighting on the street. That was back in 2007. I came to England in 2006, November 2006. So 2007, I think it was around April, May. It was one of my friend's birthday who was living in Manchester. So a big group of people from my hometown in Brazil, they went for that party. You know, it was just a simple party. So we left York on that day, 4 of us. I'm not gonna give names, okay? But one of the guys who were with us, he went to see a girl, and 3 of us stayed in the party. So this other friend of mine was in the bar, and he was chatting a girl, but this girl had a boyfriend, and they were Albanians. So he said something, and the boyfriend just came and liked the situation, grabbed a glass and smashed on his forehead, cutting his forehead and the piercing which he had over there. But we didn't know about that because we were all dispersed in different places on the nightclub or on the bar on that day. So, and then when we just went walk around the bar, I saw him all full of blood. So what happened? Well, 3 guys just came and attacked me, and it was a girl involved as well. But he never explained to us, he never told us it was his fault because he was chatting somebody else's girlfriend. So, okay, how many? Oh, it's 2 and a girl. Okay, let's go outside and let's see what's happening there. We just walked outside, and then we thought everyone would follow us, would come with us to see the situation. We just walked outside of the bar and said, oh, I just saw some guys turn around the corner, so I believe it's them. 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk as fuck. So remember, when you are drunk, make no decisions. They are all crap. Don't make decisions when you are drunk. You're going to regret them a lot. So we just started running around the corner. When we turned around, these 2 guys had the other friends who were in the party. So they went around in the restaurant on the recycling bin. And they started collecting the bottles, like wine bottles or whatever, piece of wood. So we turned around the corner and we knew it was like 11 guys. We found out later on because we saw on the cameras. So it was 11 guys and a few girls with them. So when the guys saw us, look, it's that guy over there, pointing to my friend. And the other friend said, so what we're going to do now? No, fuck it. We're going to fight. Never make those decisions when you're drinking. It was okay. It was okay because, as I say, we were young and very much immature. Okay, so we didn't measure the consequence of what could have happened on that particular day. Anyway, it was 3 of us, 10, 11 of them, and then just whatever happens, until someone shot police and everybody disappeared after some time. So after seeing the CCTV later on, people, they record it and they send. It was not smartphones back in 2007 to record everything on the street and like on the social media. It was just Facebook was just being born around that time. It was no Instagram, it was no WhatsApp on that time yet. But we could see from the CCTV, a friend of us, we were in the bar on the park, so he captured everything. Anyway, we ended up going to the hospital. I have like few stitches under my eye. I had another few stitches on the back. My friend, they broke like few bottles of wine in his head, so he was picking piece of glass in there. As we were leaving the hospital, the ambulance is coming with some of them as well, some of the guys we were fighting with. And we never went back to Manchester for a very long time because those guys, they really were after us. And some of our friends said, don't come because they are coming after you guys with guns. So that was my last proper street fight. And then you had situations here and then, but you don't classify it as proper street fights. And in Brazil, there was plenty of situations in case when you need to run, and you really need to run, because there's nothing what you can do when the people start pulling guns and shooting. If you are close to the person, fuck it, you're gonna die anyway, so you can try your luck. But when the people start pulling blades, that is the time you cannot be around it. You see a blade, just disappear. Run for your life, okay? The last case scenario, you're on the street, there's nothing what you can do, there's 2-3 people around you, and you see on the floor a little piece of wood. That may be the only thing that might save your life on that type of situation, if you know how to use it. And on the street, everything is allowed to use because that can end up in somebody's eyes straight away. Okay, but that might save your life. A car key may save your life. You are in a situation, don't know what to do, you can put the car key, if you are lucky enough to stick in certain parts of the body, that may save you, but it's not advised. It's not very much advised. So yeah, we all being young, immature, stupid, and we did all of those crazy shits on the past. Now, if you ask me again, would I go back and then try it again? No. No, not a chance. You know, life is just one. It takes a long time to understand this is not worth. But when you are young, when you are immature, and when you are in this environment of fighting, martial arts, these kind of things, that's everything what you need out there. And then you grow older, and then you start realizing this is not what is worth whatsoever. Total fool, absolutely fool, boy. You got to get fit, bro. What's this? Jordan Gray. How you doing, Jordan? Fuck this juicy scroll info. Nah, boy, Jordan, I'll tell you something, buddy. Sometimes life is that tricky. And then you don't start realizing it when you are inside of the problem. Once you start stepping outside and then you start looking the shit you have done, and then you start calling yourself, what a fucking retarded I was. How full is a compliment for people like us, you know, when we are young. And then when you go into fights when there are 5, 6, 10 people and you don't care who they are, you know, it's a different point of view, it's a different words. You got to get fit, bro. Oh, me, Jordan Gray, I'll tell you. Who are you, Jordan? Where are you from? What do you do? Someone asked where I'm from. I'm from Brazil. Then sound like that you nothing really bad happened to you. Can you do a proper kick? Dylan Walker, maybe Dylan, not anymore. Which country you from? I'm from Brazil, Dylan, but I live in England for a very long time now, you know. But yeah, I need to get fit, yes. I know, Jordan, I know. Look, I have all of that to lose, Jordan. Look, I really need to get fit, bro. Oh, valeu, Tracis, bravo, legal, mano, é treinar mesmo, velho. Tem que treinar o tempo todo, não pra briga, tem que treinar pra manter a saúde, treinar pra estar focado. Jordan said I need to get fit. Yes, Jordan, probably you're right. But you know, Jordan, when you are over 40, things change, man. You know, like I remember before, I used to train 6, 7 hours a day. I don't have the energy anymore, man. You know, things are very different now. You know, I don't have the time. I don't have the. Oops. Oh, hold on, guys. What? Hold on. What's happening here? Hold on. Yeah, just give me 1 second. I need to get the cable from the van because the battery is dying and just need to put it to charge. You guys give me 1 second. So yes, but one thing I can tell you, Jordan, you are right. You are absolutely right. I need to get fit because I don't train in those 6, 7 hours like I used to anymore, and I feel it. I don't train more than 2.5 or 3 hours a day now. I don't have time to train more than that. So I train about 2.5 hours in the morning when I come to work, and then in between I do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and then in the evening I do maybe another hour or 1.5 hours. But I know it's not enough. But I need to understand. I'm over 40 years old. I don't have that. How can you? The situation verbally. We're fixing to. So now, guys, for example, when people say, "Well, you can't kick," no problem. And it gets to the point when I don't have to anymore. You know, I really don't have to. You know, people, even some of my students, they will come to me and say, you got a bit slower. And I would say, of course, I got a bit. My punch should make. I didn't get a little slower. I got a lot slower. You know, I don't have that instinct for the fight anymore. What I do today, just here, back, nice and slowly. No, nice and stupid practice. Just this is what I do. This is what I want people to see me. I don't want to show people what I'm still capable to do, because if I need to use my skills someday, I don't want people to know what I'm there for, you know. But I'll make sure wherever I am, even being stupid, I always gonna make sure you're gonna feel much more pain than what I will in circumstances when the fight will break or will come. So I'm not bothered about you on the face or how much damage I'm gonna make to your face or give you blue eyes. I'm worried about how much can I be fast to break your knees. I want to step on your knee joint. I want to break it. I want to get your hip and dislocate your hip. That's what I want. I want to turn around and hit your cervical and make sure you're gonna end up in a wheelchair or in bed. I don't want to be here, you know, sparring with no one. I don't have that time anymore, you know. I just need to make sure whenever I'm gonna attack someone, it's gonna be efficient to make one, and I'm not gonna waste my time there because I don't have the stamina to carry on going. What do you think about Krav Maga? Krav Maga, I can say about Krav Maga exactly the same thing what I can say about judo, about karate, about any martial art. It's not the martial art which will save your life. What's going to save your life is how much do you dedicate yourself into the training of the martial art. How much can you, how much time you have to train to make sure you're going to avoid situations instead of closing your fist. Because I don't see the sense how people, they will, mainly in England, if you guys are from England or whoever be in the night, you're gonna see how the kids are doing these days. When I say kids, I'm talking about teenagers. I'm talking about 20 years old, 25 years old, you know, even 30 years old. I'm over 40s, so I can call a child. 25 years old could be a father of a 15, 18 years old person. But I see the people, they're like this, like, full high on drugs, all up, and they come to you, and I'm looking at it, what the hell are you guys doing? What is this? All the people are just like this, they look around, all come for fight, they come like, yeah. Or I see people, they just go and they grab a bottle, and they keep going around like this, walking, and waiting to the time they can attack someone. When you look for all of these kind of things from outside, you have a different opinion. Okay, because I'm not going to be, if I want. Please show me how to do if someone tries to attack me. Run, Jacob, run. If someone tries to attack you, buddy, look. Run. This is what you can do. Run. If you want to show you how to use a kick to stop someone, it will not work because I'm just showing you something which you're never going to train. You're never going to practice that. So don't trust those people when they come online and they say, well, this is a technique what you can do to divert someone. And so when someone punches you, you can change it here. When someone pulls a knife, you can grab the knife, you can turn the arm. This is all Hollywood movies. This is what people see in cartoons or Woodpecker, you know, those Japanese martial art cartoons. The real life does not work like that. You're not gonna see if a person is coming to attack you with a knife, they're not gonna come on the street like this, look. Showing you what they want. They're not. They, you know, gonna be very simple things. No, it's a bit hard, but I remember back on the days when, look, let's, for example, this is a newspaper, yeah? There's a newspaper, and you just get a knife, and there's a knife around the newspaper, and we are just Yeah, walk with your newspaper on the street. Nobody knows what is there. You just go, and then you come, stop, and walk. Why are you gonna show a weapon to someone who you're going to attack? So, before you start protecting yourself, you need to understand the body language. You need to understand when you are walking. You need to understand what you're doing. Some people they just walk on the street like kicking stones, looking to the air. They don't look ahead. At least you are 20 meters. There's someone walking towards you. Why are you going to walk towards this person to confront the person? Have your safe space. If you see someone walking towards you, be polite, be a gentleman, give some space to the person, walk on the side, and give enough space so the person cannot run to catch you straight away. Just keep going, you know, and make sure you see the shadow of the person, which way the shadow is, so give a distance, and as the person is passing, keep a look on the shadow. If the shadow is gonna make an movement, turning around or doing what, but keep your eyes open in the situation. Now, when you're gonna train a kick, you train a kick. Look, I'm gonna train a kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna train all of those kicks your lifetime. Maybe you're never gonna be able to use none of those kicks in a real fight. Unless you go to the ring, unless there are arranged fights, unless it's one-to-one. On the street, when you talk about low kick, I'm not gonna use my low kick on your thighs. Your thighs may be strong and powerful. So it's gonna be a waste of time me trying to kick there, and you can just turn. I'm doing a kick. I'm receiving the kick. I can just, what is this movement there? I just want the knee to go into someone's chin. That's everything what I want and what I need. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be a lot of pain for myself. A lot of motherfucking pain for my body just because I want to be a stupid fighter. You know. Listening to this guy would take around 300 years. That's how you check a kick. Well, I'll tell you something, guys. The kick, your eyes realize real light. How long would need to train for getting skills good enough for a street fight? A lifetime, boy. A lifetime, Leo. I want to fight you with some charges. Not a chance, boy. Too old for that. Absolutely too old for that. Please, what to do if someone tries to attack me? I said already run. And what's the effective martial art in your opinion? There is no effective martial art. There is the effective way of train and run. You know, like for me, I'm not gonna say about other people. I'm gonna talk about myself. Okay, me, Sandro, Negoteta, me. I find it easier to fight people bigger than me. Okay, person can be 6 foot or whatever. I find it much easier than fight people my weight or smaller than me. Okay, because it's not a rule, but most of the time, most of the times when I have fought people bigger than me, I didn't have to worry too much about their speed. I had to worry about their strength. I had to worry about if they catch me, if they grab me, if they strangle me, that would be a problem. But for me, it was much easier because they were the taller people than me. They were a bit slower than what I was. So I'm not talking about it's not a rule for a fight. I'm talking about myself, how I perceived it back in the days. Because I was always going for the pressure points, for trigger points, or for places where I knew if I get one right movement done on those places, that would be the end of the fight. So some of the times when I see these big people coming to me, few times I was going for the ankle. just for the ankle, okay? Who's that? That's not how you check a kick. I'm not checking a kick. I'm stopping a bloody kick, a low kick. If you don't believe me, try it. Trust me, it works. Try it, but ask someone to kick you properly. And then I'm not there trying to receive the kick. I just give the chance for the person to kick so I can really push it. Or elbow, okay? Some people come with some kick. It's gonna fuck up your arm if you're not trained. But I prefer if someone's coming to kick to break my ribs, or straight kick in there, or kick my face, elbow on the shin, straight away. Okay? It was other things that I'm not gonna mention to you guys because you guys are gonna go mad with me. If I can show you one of the things what I train a lot, which was my specialty on the training and on the fight, which was head bow. My training for head bow has been always my spot on training, my spot on movement. Okay, but we're not talking about this now. So what was the question there? Do you think there is such a thing as overtraining? It depends. There are some things, well, you cannot go train forever. You cannot train 24 hours a day. You cannot train 10 hours a day continuously every single day. You're going to go mad. You're going to go absolutely mad. Okay? Because you're going to be so much into that thing, you're going to start looking for trouble everywhere. You're going to start looking for trouble all the time just to try and test yourself. And I don't advise it. And of course, the body needs to recover. It's not every day you are fit enough to do a hard train. It's not every day you can stand doing everything. No, body needs a rest. You need to, when you say training, also it's not only about exercise, not only about concentration, it's not only about divert, it's all about breathing. Can you breathe? You need to meditate. You need to take the time to, if you're religious, pray. If you have a child, play with your child, or just relax and watch a movie. It's not all about training hard all the time. Your body needs some rest. Your mind needs some rest. But whenever you have the chance, stretching here, watching TV, stretching your leg, stretch your knee. All of these things works and it counts in the end of the day. What part of the Caribbean are you from? I'm not from Caribbean, Q. I'm from Brazil. This man has a lot of knowledge to teach, Brian C. Oh, Brian, yeah, well, not really. I'm a great actor and a great liar. I say things and people believe. So yeah, as I say, nowadays I train 2.5, 3 hours a day. But when I say 2.5, 3 hours a day, I'm not there training stamina or all that kind of thing. Like, no, I just, between now and later on tonight, what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be working on my balance. I'm just going to be here training how much flexibility and balance I can have, how much I can manipulate the body in all different directions, because every position is an attack position. Every position where you are, you need to make sure you can protect yourself. Any position is a defense position, okay? You really need to know how to protect yourself in all different ways. But the body must be just prepared for it. And it's not all the time we have chance to prepare our body. So that's what I say. Whenever you have 5 minutes, just stretch. Eat well. Make sure you don't bring too much inflammation to your body. When you start thinking, oh, my knee is not great, my elbow is not great, maybe there's just a lot of inflammations in there. You just need to get rid of those inflammations, Curitiba, Brasil, Deus abençoe. Pastor Ney Lima, Deus abençoe o senhor também, pastor. Deus que lhe guarde, que abençoe, ele proteja toda a família. Eu sou do Paraná também, do interior, minha cidade fica a 250 quilômetros de Curitiba, mas eu vivo na Inglaterra já há quase 20 anos. Running Wild, I never smiled as a juvenile. Even now, I keep from when I come around West Side. Buddy, I'll tell you something. Keep your smile up. Who is the best fighter of all times, in your opinion? Oh, Leo, that's a really good question. people who are my fight idols, they are not famous people. They are people who I just met, who I trained with, who I know them in different ways. Now, if you're talking about fights on TV, UFC, there, I don't know. Maybe probably I would not be able to tell you that because different points of view, different opinions, but I consider fights only what that can put your life in danger. Not on the sports side of it, if I can put it this way, So I will not be able to tell you who is the best fighter. I've seen people fighting in all different sorts of ways. I've seen things which a lot of people, even double of my age, they haven't seen happening on the street, and how people kind of had escaped from those moments, But it's very peculiar. Interesting conversation question. Right, guys, thank you very much for listening to me today. Thank you very much for the new subscribers. Really appreciate you guys leaving your like. If you didn't leave your like yet, you still can do it. You still have time for the next few seconds before I turn it off. If you like what I do, please leave your like in a comment. If you don't like what I do, just show me a massive fingers and tell me to get fucked. Everything is fine. No offense taken, okay? But yeah, train, keep practicing. There's plenty of videos over here, me doing my stupid things, sometimes in the class, sometimes there's some music, sometimes just check on my schools. Just check out, look around what's happening in this mad channel, because here everything is about madness, being crazy. And in between, as I say, just practice, train, feel well. Make sure when you train, look, it's not for a fight, it's just for your well-being, concentration. But don't be afraid of those people who take the t-shirts and come around you like with angry face. You know what they want. They are like rattlesnakes. They are telling you what they want. Be afraid of those people who smile to you all the time. Be afraid of those people who are walking by your side calling you a friend, but you never know what the intention is. You don't know people's hearts. You don't know what goes inside people's minds. So be careful with those who is smiling to you, okay? You never know when the shit might come. So just keep an eye open all the time, everywhere. Okay, guys? I see you guys later on. Bye for now.